for our next project, we are going to tackle our ceiling. So when we initially moved to this house, the only issue that we saw was that we had only one light in the living room, and on the other side of the living room there was no light fixtures at all. So at that time what we did was use some lamps to brighten that space up. Then we went ahead and built this fireplace. If you haven't seen the video of how we did it, we will link it down below. So we put in some lights here, but now the issue is that the light that we have in the ceiling seems off-centered. It's not at all in the center. It's gone to this side because a lot of the wall was covered. So what we are planning to do is remove this light fixture and put in some pot lights on the ceiling. And if you look at the ceiling closely, we have a textured ceiling, and we want to make a waffle ceiling or a coffered ceiling. So we will divide this ceiling in equal parts and then use wooden slats to make it a coffered ceiling. And in the middle, we want to remove the textured ceiling, so we will be making that flat by covering it up. So it's going to look very beautiful once it's done. For starters, we have to clear out this whole space because there's going to be a lot of dust, and we don't want that on all of our furniture and our nice things. So we're going to put everything inside and start with a clean slate. So all of our stuff is shifted to this corner or upstairs. All we have is the couch, the modem, everything else has been cleared out. We are going to remove this TV as well.
Starting off with the project, the very first thing we need to do is remove this light fixture and the smoke detector. Along with the light fixture, the junction box also will be removed. I will check what is above this drywall panel just to make sure there are no wires or pipes, because I need to cut holes for the pot light. I'll run down to the furnace room to switch off the breaker and then start with removing the fixture and the junction box. Fixture and the smoke detector have been removed along with the junction box. I have taped these wires. I would like to show you that there is a stud here. So the next step, I'll just take the camera and show it to you. So if you can see here, so this is a stud where the junction box was attached, and same on the other side. Now next what we'll do is, using a stud finder, I'll just locate the stud. Most probably it will run across the living room, and with a pencil I'll just mark. And then the next step would be using a laser. We'll just put a chalk line so that we know when we are attaching these 1x6 onto these, we will hit the studs. One thing more I noticed here is, so if you can see, there is a plumbing here which is going to our washroom upstairs. So I have to be very careful not to put any brad nails or any kind of nails through this. So just need to be careful here. In the living room are running like this. So just to make sure that we are not hitting any wires or pipes, I am making few drills in the drywall. I have marked where the studs are. So this is a stud, and then in the empty space I am making a hole. I got this inspection camera from Amazon, just putting it inside the hole. You can have a 360-degree view as to how what's inside basically. If I give you an idea. Okay, yeah. So this is the side. So if you look at this, there is a camera on the left side and another one on the top. For now I'm using the camera on the left side. So I can, if you can see our accent wall here. Now if I put it in an existing hole. It's not very clear, but you can see that there is a pipe somewhere close to the stud, which we have to be careful of and not drill any holes or use any brad nails. That's how we'll just making few holes in the wall and checking for the wires and the pipe. On checking with the camera, we saw that there is a pipe very close to the drywall, so I just made a marking on the drywall that we don't have to use any brad nails or any kind of screws in this particular box because there is a pipe right above the drywall. We are done checking with all the pipes and the wires which are above the drywall. And let me tell you, this camera has been a lifesaver. There was a pipe here which we couldn't find by our naked eyes, but we drilled these small holes and then put this camera inside, and it has been really great. Next, I'm just going to fill these holes which I pre-drilled for checking the pipes and wires with the spackling. This is the spackling I'll be using. It goes on pink and then when it dries, it turns white. I don't need to finish it because any which way it will get covered, but I'll just fill up all these holes now. Next, we will start with putting the 1x6 on the wall. This is a rough sketch of how our living room looks like. The width is 109 inches and the length is about 22 feet. And we are planning to put 1, 2, 3, 4 1x6 longer side, and then we'll have a gap of around 30 inches in between them. Then we'll put the smaller planks. First, we'll start with this side, and we measured it was about 109. This is our cut piece. The way we're going to install the plank on the ceiling is using this construction adhesive. It's no more nails, heavy duty. Along once I put in some construction adhesive on back of board. Once you put it on, I'll be using the Ryobi brad nailer. Put some nails into the board, and I'll be using these 18 gauge 1/4 inch nails. This is the caulking gun, so no more manual pressing of the levers and using the gun. This is again an automated caulking gun by Ryobi. This is an indicator how fast you want the caulk to come out, so I'll just set the setting to the minimum for now and then I can adjust it later.
So as of now, we've made the rectangular border with the wood and nailed it down and glued it down. The next step is that we need to put longer ones here in between. So we'll divide this whole area into 3 sections equally, and then we'll put smaller ones to make the boxes. So we have our wood now, and we just have to make sure that it's straight and divided equally.
We divided the whole area into 3 parts. So basically 2 of these 1x6 will go in between, and we did the math, and we'll have to use 75 centimeters from the edges. So we cut this into 75 centimeters, and this we'll use as a template. Just make some markings, and then using a laser we'll just create a straight line and we'll put the long boards. Cut the small planks now, and we'll be finishing this side of the wall. I have installed one of the planks, and this is how the final square will look like, and we'll have a pot light in the middle. So putting glue on the back of the board and then nailing it with the brad nailer. I've already marked where all I need to put in the boards. There will be total 7 boards across the wall. As you can see, one side is almost done. We just need to put in the panels in the middle and then cut holes for the pot lights. So for the panels, we'll be using this 1x8 soft white hardboard, and the associate in Home Depot was really kind enough, and he cut the exact dimensions which we needed, but still we just need to sand off the edges because it's not fitting into the space there. And for the hole saws, I'll be using this adjustable hole saw. Got this from Amazon, so we can adjust it according to our desired width. We will be using a 4-inch spotlight, so I'll be adjusting this to 4 inch. I'll attach this first and then cutting the hole through the hardboard into the drywall and then we'll have a hole for the pot light. Using an 80 grit sandpaper, and this is orbital sander. I'll just sand one of the edges because so there's just a minor extra few quarter of an inch which is missing there.
So the reason why we have put these boards is because we don't want the textured ceiling to show. So this will give it a smooth look. And now to mark the center of this square, what we're doing is seeing what the corners are, and then we'll make a line in the center, and then we'll do that on the opposite side. So wherever the two lines meet is the center of this square, and that's where we'll put our pot light. So we now have the center, and this is where we'll put our pot light using the drill.
We mark the center using a leveler. Let's hope this is the center. And now I've attached the hole saw to my drilling machine. It already has a drill bit.
Using the same pot light cutter, it's 4.5 inches, and just put it inside. We know that there's no panels or no wires inside, so it should be fine. So we're done making the boxes, and this is what it looks like now. At the edge, at this end, we have a weird shape. So what we decided to do was make a whole border and then continue with these boxes, but these boxes just ended up being a little bit longer, which is okay. We don't have any other options now. As you can see, it's a bit wider as compared to the others. And on this edge, we have the fireplace that we built, and we had an edging on this on the top. So we're just going to cut out this piece here and then fix board to go here so that the border is closed.
Done with making the holes for this part of the living room. So basically this is where our live wire from the switch is coming. I put a wire nut, it's live right now. My plan is to add a 14-2 wire. This is the 14-2 wire, which means there's a black which is the live wire, this is a white neutral, and the third is a bare copper, which is the ground wire. So I'll be putting one wire from here, and luckily there is no stud in between, so it will using this fish shape. I will fish it from this hole, coming out from this hole. Another pot light will be installed here. Then there's a stud in between which I have to drill through. It'll come. This is the hole which is for our carbon monoxide detector, the smoke alarm basically. The wires are already in here, so I'll pull that wire. Different from this set of wire, I will take a bend, and then coming to this bend from here, we'll not be installing a pot light, but we'll be installing a light fixture. We'll show it to you. We got from Artica, really beautiful. And then once this light fixture is wired, we'll again get that wire back to this hole, then take a turn and come to this side of the living room. There's a pot light which will be installed here. Last night I installed this wire, so this doesn't have any current. It's basically coming from this end and coming out from that end. So one live wire will come here, and this will take the current to that corner, and this will complete the circuit of this side of the living room. Coming to this side, we still have to make the holes, and this will have a separate switch. So the pot lights and then the light fixture which will be here will be controlled by this switch. Right now it's just a faceplate, a dummy faceplate here. I will be putting a smart switch, and then this part of the living room will be controlled from this switch and from our Alexa. Next step is to drill across this stud. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but there is a stud right here, and this is a 15-inch long drill bit, half inch, got it from Amazon. I'll be drilling through here. We already checked that there are no pipes, so we are safe that way, but I need to drill a hole so that we can pass the wire onto this hole. In this hole we plan to install a light fixture. So for the light fixture we need to install a junction box. Since there is no stud around this hole, I've got this kind of junction box which has these flaps. So basically when it goes into the hole and I tighten these screws, these flaps open up, and this is how it will get attached to the drywall, and it will hold its shape and it will take the weight of the light fixture. So it's very simple. Just open these tabs on the one side and insert the wires. The reason I have two wires is that there is current coming into one wire from one wire, and then the current will go into the light fixture, and then from the other set of wires it will continue into the other spotlights. I'm just trying to open the junction box with this metal thingy so that the flaps open up and the screw tightens easily. This is how the junction box is attached now, and we can attach a light fixture weighing not more than 6 pounds, so about 3 kgs we can install on this light fixture and it will hold the weight. We are now wiring this part of the living room. So as our joists are running this way, these were very easy for us to put the wires because there was no stud in between, it was just drywall. So we just put the wire using the wire fish and it came out from the other hole. But the challenge came when we had to push the wire from that end to this one. Like here, this is an extra hole which we made because we have to drill a hole from, there are two studs in the middle, so we have to pass the drilling bit. I don't have a long drilling bit, so the drill bit can only pass through one stud. So what we're doing is, suppose this is the stud, we are passing from here, and then there's another stud, we are drilling it from the other side, and then there's a gap in between. So just to make sure that there are no pipes or wires in between those two studs, we made a small hole, and using this camera which we bought, it's been really useful for us. So this is the hole which we drilled. We'll fill this up later. So as we just put this in the hole here, we can get to know, if you can see, there's a stud here, no wires, and on the other side as well there's a stud and no wires. So this really helps us to fish the wire onto this hole, and then the circuit continues. The hole, if you can, I think you'll be able to see, this is the hole right here into this stud, and if I walk across on the other side, there is one more hole right in the center. So now we have two studs, and then there is a hole in the drywall, and using the camera we'll fish the wire from this stud in between and coming out from the other stud.